What's up, YouTube fam? It's Dark Angel's Journey. I'm Shakira. Happy Sunday, y'all. It is time for some back testing. As always, um, we'll be going through Thinkorswim's, or we'll be utilizing Thinkorswim's on-demand feature so that we can sort of back test slash forward test previous week's data. And it gives me the ability to actually put in the orders that I would have put in. Um, Process as always will be whatever I normally do pre-market. And I've actually started making pre-market videos to, I don't know, make sure that they're consistent and I don't skip, especially on days when I'm actually trying to trade. All right, so last time we did 2 weeks of data in February. So we'll try and see if we can get through the next 2 weeks of data in February. So let me move this over here. So I will have a calendar so I can check to see if we had any news in the last 2 weeks. So we ended on the 13th. You can see the date. Actually, let me get tiny. Let's go, Wolfie. Yo, I barely woke up for this, man. How's your weekend, man? Hey, yo, I got some amazing meat, some ground beef, and some delicious kind of fatty ground pork. Put them together into like patty, seasoned the heck out of it, smashed it, and made the most amazing burgers, yo. Mwah! Found some burger patties that were so soft. Oh my God. It was like the best burger I've ever had. So good. Anyway, let me stop acting silly. But I just wanted to share that with you since you make a mean burger. All right, last time, let's go ahead and reset. This is what we did last time. I know, right? I haven't had breakfast. I literally and jumped out of bed and then showered and then ran up here. I had just enough time, and I mean literally just enough time to put some, what is this, orange ginger turmeric in some hot water and some tea, and that's it. That actually sounds pretty gross though, if I'm gonna be honest with you. All right, so we're on to February 16th. Let's go to 0940 and let's see what we need to, not 45, 40, and give us a little bit of time. Let's check that. All right, so I would still be very, very bearish on this day. Weak. So I'm going to clear that, clear that, clear that. I will note the gap that they're sitting inside of down here though. It's a little volume imbalance there. They busted through it, but they can still hang out and use it for, I don't know, wood fire. I'm just being silly. Also, should note there's a small little gap up here as well. And I'm going to note previous day's high as a potential, previous day low as a potential. And Maddie, you cannot, come here, come here, come here. Really? Okay, okay. Down you pop for one. By the way, she's heavy. You're a lot better than in your last video. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, it's getting better slowly. It's kind of gross, but it is slowly getting better. Um, and I wasn't really like properly sick on Wednesday. They put me on prednisone, like a steroid, to hopefully clear out what was happening in my chest. And on the last day of the medication, or at least the day after, it literally, the side effects, it gave me instant fever, flu. I was freezing. My joints hurt. It was awful. The left side of my face swelled up. I was like, shut up. What is this foolishness? I am so offended. All right, we're noting the previous day high and low. We're bearish for the moment. If there's a gap up there, let's and we have this big juicy fair value gap up top. They're digging into this one down here, the volume imbalance. Let's see if they want to make it all the way down there. It's 942. Let's also check to see if there's any news. News is important. So on the 16th of February, hmm? Oh, it was a holiday. It was a holiday, so it's like a half day. So we gotta be real quick. All right. Very aggressive. 1 hour candle, about 50 minutes left, and it's you want it to continue dropping. So there's no news, bank holiday. Honestly, this is the kind of day I would just, I mean, we've just been dropping. London highs look like they're all the way up here. Let's go back to the 15. Real quick, just to situate where, yeah, they already took out like, they already took out London lows. Again, some days I feel bad for London, but whenever they run in London, then New York gets crap after it, and then I get salty, Then I just get salty. I should know, like, we're technically in between like one big 15-minute range between the high and the low. I would normally prefer if one of these got taken first. But we sort of just meandered up a bit. Then we were aggressive. We took this low out. This is like a bit of a tiny little chop zone area that they're kind of running into. It's also a holiday. So it's half day, probably not going to trade until, I think the markets will close until 1. We'll close around 1 or so, approximately. So I like to watch the markets on the 5-minute. Whoops. Let me make sure I'm not. But yeah, I gotta keep it up. I gotta have a lot of honey. My chest feels a whole lot better. But sometimes, because I'm trying to avoid coughing, my breathing might come in a little weird. So I'm fine. It's like a reaction to not wanting to actually cough. So I was actually chilling on this day, so I didn't even know what was happening. Honestly, with no news, bank holiday, I might have been interested after like, well, I don't trade until 15 minutes after anyway, so which is right about now. And I don't know about you, but chasing something like this is just ridiculous. What I would like to see, and I can't really like do what I would do in trading view. But what I would like, oops, no. So what I'd like to see is, can I draw this? Okay. So, if we've got the previous day's lows, they're small days. It could also be an inside day too, but it'd be nice if we could retrace back up. And let's look at the 5-minute to see what kind of fair value gaps we have hanging about. More than that, actually. Let's go back to like the 1 hour. Anything I can use. Oof, yeah. Like that just looks like it's running. And chasing price is how you lose more often than not. Like you can't chase price. Most times it'll come back for you. So you guys got to be patient. What we're hitting here, look at the price action here on the 1 hour, right? Like we've tapped into the volume imbalance here. It's also a bullish fair value gap. They used it here and ran up very aggressively. And now these guys, we dropped all the way back down into it along with the volume imbalance. So there's two things down here along with this 1 hour order block. as well on the left here, and they've tapped it, rejected, but then refused to continue going up. So, uh, very aggressive 1 hour candle. I don't know. I think I might want to wait for this candle to close. So I'm going to push this to 10 o'clock because I'm not chasing it. And if we don't get something today, that's fine. I don't really do half days anyway. But we are back testing. So let's push this to 1 o'clock. All right. So that's the close of the 1 hour candle. So I'm talking about don't chase. Do not chase. Chasing is where you get your ass handed to you. Yeah, you heard me. Get your ass handed to you. So we have fair value gap here, here, and here. So there's 3 of them. So if for any kind of short, and I don't know that I would be even remotely interested in a short anymore, especially with them tapping this and rejecting. We're in an area where they've rejected a number of times and run back up. So the potential for a long is not necessarily the worst thing on the planet. The problem is any real long for me would have to start somewhere up here, which is kind of insane because that's like a whole, like for a shift in structure. Like I'd need a lower, I need for them to drop below here, close a higher low, and then run up, and then we could go long, you know? And that's the setup that messed up the trades that I took this week. Like being in profit and then, it not running the lows and then, dawdling at the base and then coming up to stop me out full because it just didn't want to give me a place to move my stop. So let's see. So a lot of chop here. They did sweep some lows here, so it could potentially be a long. The requirements are we need to hit some sort of high time frame PD array. So we did that. Like we came down aggressively, we swept out all of these folks who are trying to go long, and we tapped into it and then we pushed back aggressively. So now we need to see price confirm any long suspicions. If it does not do that, meaning it does not come back down, give me a higher low, shift up one more time, then we could like go for these highs or that one, you know what I mean? If it doesn't give us that. Now, if we were going to continue with the short idea, I would need to see them tap into this and fail miserably. You know what we didn't check? We didn't check if there was like a 4 hour like extreme they tapped into. They did. Like this is one extreme right here. This would have been the extreme, but this is such a small range. Well, small in comparison to like, I don't know, this bigger one. You know what I mean? We have all of this juiciness down here that we could dig into. But the 4 hour isn't looking super juicy. This is looking real bearish, but it's looking like it doesn't want to follow through. So let's see. Let's push price forward to 1010 and see what else we get here. All right, so a rejection off of this. So there's a part of me that looks at that 5-minute rejection and would need to see a shift in structure. But I'm currently feeling like potentially they might want to turn around, but that's because of the reaction from the higher time frame, the daily PD array here. So like I said, I need to see confirmation in either direction. Now, the one good thing though, I should note, and let's do this and I think this might be the situation where maybe I just don't end up taking a trade because the clarity around the trade isn't there yet. And that's the thing, we need clarity. So we have one, two fair value gaps down here, giant order block. So can't really wait for that for all of that to be taken care of. Can we? I don't know. Maybe we can. The other thing is like, you don't need to, you could probably like, if it's gonna, if we're looking for a retracement back down into this guy for a continuation, I think scalpers could get away with like, taking it down to here. And you don't even have to wait for the lows to get taken out. And I'm still working out whether or not I want to trade on the 2 minutes or the 1 minute for like the entries, depending on whichever one's clearer. Now, I will be interested in a long if we roll back down, take this out, and then we have all these smooth highs up here. Super smooth highs. So let's push this to a few more minutes. Okay. All right. So I like the little tap. That's nice. They obliterated all of the order blocks. They like disrespected all of the order blocks coming down. Not weird. Now I want to see how they behave inside of the fair value gaps down here. So let's push this forward another couple minutes, 10, 20. Still have plenty of time to get into a trade if possible. All right, so on the 2 minute, we've just hit an order block. Let's see if they bounce from here. So I'm going to keep pushing time forward because it's not a day I would normally trade out. I would go enjoy my day, as you should too, and just enjoy your day. All right, so looks like the bears are winning. So here's where I want to know. Do we drop below here and continue to here? Because then I would be more than happy to take something in here to come down here. Let's push it to 10:30. Did you guys trade on this day, by the way, the 16th? So you see, I just talked myself into dual scenarios, which makes me not want to take any trade. Because we had a very, very bearish, right, start to the day. So let's see if this guy repels or if we drop below it, and then we can probably take something. Let's see which one of the scenarios actually works out for us today. All right, so it's a continuation sort of day. Now, whoops. Now, that means that if I'd stuck with the bearish, and that's what happens sometimes, you just get so wrapped up. So we've just been sort of staircasing down. We took this low out. Can't quite take something there. What does the 5 minute look like on this? Yeah, just straight up bear. So I would be happy for like a return into this guy right here. Although I don't know that they'll come back up, but so sometimes I can talk my way out of a trade easy. Meaning I don't even take the trade. That's why we're here thinking about it. So we have a 5 minute candle forming. We've taken this low out. So they've confirmed they want to continue down. And I probably should have just been okay with that. I would be perfectly fine with taking some short if they plop back up in here to continue that way. Because they've confirmed that for me. The problem I have here is the fact long into the pink area. Well, if they reject like this again, it could be, I don't know. But right now, let's look at that 1 hour candle. It's also it's forming very, very bearish, but we have a lot of resistance here in this area that they've used to bring price back up, but we have not been able to keep the upward momentum. So let's see. Again, chasing is bad. As entries go, I don't know that I one that I might have liked and I would have preferred if they dug into this to about the midpoint instead, but they did take this out. And then on the 1 minute they did shift. Then the secondary entry technically would have had to be here if I was to like take this. And I probably should have tried it, honestly. Like on the 1 minute, like that would have been the confirmation entry. And actually, I probably would have put it here with a stop there. And then let's see if they want to like come all the way down here. If I didn't talk myself into a whole different scenario. But I did also say that you could also take it down to here. So this is like, we've taken the low out, the AM low out already, made a new one, going sideways. Let's push this to just a couple minutes. Let's go for 10:45. Because this is what I would have done. I would have absolutely thought too much. Okay, good. So we had a bit of a push up, very aggressive drop. If we close here, then come on, close below that. We've made a little mini order block. Very aggressive. I could try a short here. I don't know. Does that feel like, given that I should have just taken it up here. I don't know. Does that feel like I should have, with that, if this candle remains aggressive? Oh, let's put the fast forward on this puppy. I forgot I hadn't done that yet. Let's see how this closes. It does feel too late, right? Like that's the problem I have with this type of entries. Like we're at the bottom, we've moved a whole bunch. I don't really want to get into it, unless it like drops aggressively. Because I remember I said I was okay with taking a short in here to here if we got it. Is it not moving? The heck? It's not moving. Hold on. What happened? Let's move up to, okay. Come on, Thinkorswim. Don't play games with me today. Okay. So yeah, whenever chasing, man, that's why I said I want to chase it when it came down here. But I could have taken the short if I didn't talk myself into weird. I think it's stuck, y'all. The heck? Let's see if this candle's moving. 10:49. I think Thinkorswim is stuck. Hold on. Let's give it a second. So I'm curious if there was like a better entry for the short up here. Because honestly, if we dug into this and then dropped below it, I would have taken it here. This made me, this I couldn't have caught. Swept and then didn't really give us much of a choice. This thing isn't moving anymore, guys. What the heck? It was working before. What the hell? All right, so survey says that I would have not taken a trade today simply because I would have talked myself into a weird knot of silliness. But I should have stuck with the bearish because we had the aggressive push down. I just And then I just needed to see them drop. And they did, so I should have been like, you know what? Who cares? Take the long, take the short. But honestly, the entry would have had to have been the drop below here, secondary drop. Entry would have had to be here, and then just see if they want to take this low out or just to here. That would have been fine. But I wouldn't have taken anything because I was not feeling it. I don't know, maybe because I'm like super rushed coming in today. Anyway, let's move on to a day that's not a holiday. Because I wouldn't have traded that day. Anyway, let's go to 9:40 on the 17th and let's switch us to a daily view. Oh, look at that. They did take out the previous day's low. Nice. The question is, when did they take it out? Oh, hold on. So they took it out. Did they take it out pre-market? Yep. So London took it out. Okay, so that's one higher time frame piece knocked out ahead of time. And then the 1 hour is looking real, that candle's looking real nice, but we all know these candles need to close for us to be able to do anything. Let's see. Did we have news? No, there's an orange folder, 830 Empire State Manufacturing Index. Okay, no news. So this is what we would have, let's see. Yeah, so Wolfie or Long probably would have worked out for after 11. Yeah. Well, that's looking pretty aggressive. We've taken the lows out ahead of time. Love that. No news. So technically we can kind of just do what we want, right? It's a 15-minute look at dang. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you would have gotten a nice little move off of that. Where is it? Yeah, right here. All the hemming and hawing. Yep. You would have got, yeah, right back up into here. But they just really, really didn't go anywhere. That's funny. All right, so we have a very bullish 1 hour candle. I'm going to push it to 10 o'clock to see how that candle closed. So I would expect more bullishness. And then we have some highs up here. That's funny. That's why you gotta wait for these candles to close, y'all. You gotta wait for these candles to close. They lie. They lie. Dang. Oops. Hold on. That candle just backflipped all over everybody. I tell you, I really love trading. I really do. You know, the things that these candles can do is just incredible. Just incredible. It's insane. Well, with that rejection, I'm interested in this. That is ridiculous. Right? Right? NQ's such a huge liar. That's why it's like, we gotta wait for this candle to close because you never know. It might look as bullish as hell. Look at that big ass lie we just got fed. Huge, huge lie. What the hell? All right, what did we do? Like, it took out all of London. It took out, well, London had already been taken out already. Ugh, God, I hate days like this. Taking highs, we've taken lows. Like, what do you even do with a day like this? Freaking, what the hell? Because now this says, all right, let's be honest, we were already bearish, right? So I guess we should figure out some sort of short opportunity. So on the 5 minute, they took that order block out with alacrity. There's plenty of stuff down here for them to jump into. But you know what? I'm going to stick with the short and not let anything mess with me until structure tells me otherwise. Damn. That gangster. That was wow. Wow. That was just mean. All right. So we've dumped very aggressively. Um, I think that even made a new daily low, right? Yup. Basically. So that daily extreme, hold on, it's not a 4. That daily extreme. Hey, Dogface G4U, how are ya? Happy Sunday. Hope the weekend's going real nice. Okay, that's pretty close. Any short now would require them to pop back up into here, tackle this little fair value gap, stay around the midpoint of this puppy. By the way, they've just been, look at how they've been hanging out inside this volume imbalance, just bouncing around. It's mean. I think I prefer a higher time frame fair value gap for a inversion if we have one. What time is it? 10:03. Lies and deceit, man. Lies and deceit. Wait, why is it not going nice? Wolfie, be nice. Wolf eats dog growl. What's happening, dog face? What's wrong? Who messed with your cornflakes? Is that a thing? I think that's a thing, right? Who messed with your cornflakes? You're tired of learning to trade? Well, let me tell you something about being tired of learning to actually trade. I don't think as a trader is that ever actually stops. The only way you can like not be tired of learning to trade is if you decide on a setup and you only trade that one setup when it comes up. Done. And then everybody else and all of their newfangled way to get into entries and I don't know, head and shoulders here. I don't use any of that crap anyway. But whatever works for you, whatever makes you money, you just keep doing that over and over and over again. That's why I'm sitting here. Is it? Pissed in your cornflakes is the saying? Dang, I suck at sayings. It's a good thing I'm not like a dad or a mom, because then you get stuck with like weird shack jokes. Wait, you get stuck with those anyway. Sorry. All right, what do we do in this ridiculousness? Well, look, Dogface, if you're, let me ask the question, are you a profitable trader? I'm not. I'm still working on it. That's why I'm out here doing back testing every Sunday, and I'm working on myself every day to get to where I need to go. Here's the thing about being tired of something. If you haven't, you can be tired of it when you've hit your goals, when you've made your money, when you sit and pray. Know what I mean? When you got that cheddar. Until such time, you can't be tired, my brother or my sister, my person. Because look, I've spent 2 years losing money. That's all right. I have a dream. And it's to not have to work 9 to 5. And I know I can do it this way. And most of that has been mastering myself. So like in November, I had a moment. I was like, I'm so sick and tired. I need to take a minute. And I just took time for myself. I didn't really start trading again until months later. And that's okay. If you're tired, take a break. Come back. Always come back though. You're just starting? Okay. Nothing wrong. Everything's harder when you're just starting. It really is. Because it's all confusing, you know? It's all confusing. You look at these candles, you're like, what does this mean? What does that mean? I mean, trust me, I know. When I started, it was the same way. I was like, but what you need to do is find someone who teaches in a way that makes it make sense to you. There's a ton of folks out here. Like I learned from ICT, Meet Kaplan, Wolfie can probably, um, oh, Charmaine Trades is one, TT Trades. There's a bunch of folks out here that have a ton of free vids, good, easy, to start primers, and you can just take it slow. All you got to do is just don't put any money behind it. Get on TradingView, get a free account, start poking around, test stuff out, take time. Take time because you need it. There's no getting around the taking of time. All right, what are we going to do? So we've tapped into this 5 minutes. If we break below here, I might take a little short this way. If we continue up, we have like a weird range here. This is awful. Yeah, see, Wolfie's telling you. Like, but Wolfie, that means spending money though. Although, do you have to pay for TradingView's free initial thing? I think it's free for TradingView, but you don't get live data. The data is delayed. But if you want the live data, you do have to pay a little bit. Um, yes, that's true. What Wolfie's saying about it, low cost entry. But really that's once you have like your method of trading, all set. Exactly. You gotta learn first before you put money in. So I'm saying like all of these platforms have some sort of free paper trading space for you to do stuff with. Do that. I mean, Wolf is not wrong either. But no joke, I spent a whole year paper trading and then I got in and started trading my own funds. Wolfie's right. It's a whole other dynamic. The moment I put my own money in there, oh my God. I was like so stressed. I was shaking. It was it really is a whole different thing. You could literally like, what is it? Start like a tiny, tiny account, like $100 or something. I don't know. And then trade like one micro or something. There's nothing small than a micro though. What the hell are we doing with this? I do not like this price action. Let me be clear. I don't like it. It can kiss my bumpo. Let's go to the 1 hour. Look at this liar, liar, pants on fire 1 hour candle. This thing was green as all hell. Took all these guys out. What to do? What to do? I'm gonna see if there's a short in here, but I'm gonna tell you right now, gun to my head, it will be a forced short if I take one. Let's push this forward a little bit because this is ridiculous. We've been able to take zero trades because in Dogface, you can literally talk yourself out of anything. And the first day, I talked myself out of what could have potentially been a juicy short. Okay, so here's what I don't like, right? Chop, 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 chop. Sweep up the chop, both ends. Sweep the chop on both sides. This is a day I would just walk away from, honestly. I would just walk away from it because what am I supposed to do? And now we're just sort of potentially forming more chop. So for trading, you need clarity, right? Beautiful trending markets. We're either going up aggressively, we're going down aggressively, we might be hanging about a little bit and then we just continue the trend. But what we've been having for the last, I don't know, what has it been, 20 days of bullshit? Oh my God, I can't. How is anybody supposed to, besides the scalpers, to make any money in this market? Maybe if you're trading ES, NQ's been a bit rough. See, look at that. Sorry, I pushed it forward another 5 minutes. We were 10:20. So let's see. So I'm like, don't run after anything. We liar, pants on fire, that 1 hour candle, then we aggressively brought it back, and now we're back in the range, back in the shop. I would love to see it tap this order block right here, these 1, 2, 3, 5 minute candles, because we broke aggressively below it. That's what makes it an order block. And I'd like to see us drop down, and then maybe I would try for a short. Habits, and you start questioning everything you just learned once you try it with real money. I mean, I don't know about, would I say we're knowledgeable? We definitely have been trading for a few years and we've gotten our licks. We've had to take our pauses, you know? It's an emotional roller coaster. No joke. I did not know that there was a something out there in the world that would be so stressful up here. Trading is super simple. You could do anything. Literally, you could flip a coin and just decide, okay, I'm gonna buy or sell. All right. Let's see, 1021. So I wanted it tapped into the order block. I like that. Now, what am I thinking for an entry? And does it meet my requirements? Well, technically, we've taken higher time frame liquidity when it ran up here and lied to us to our teeth, lied straight to our faces. And then, but let me go back to your question, Dolphus. My thoughts on this would be take the time, get comfortable, watch some vids, Let me see. That's true. Wolfie's right. Wolfie has the right idea there. What are you trading? One thing is not like the other. So did sort of do what I wanted it to do, which is roll back up. But there's no structure that I like in here, like at all. This is really annoying. Yeah, because if you're trying to look at multiple pairs, even forex as well, my first advice would be focus on one thing, like NQ or ES, and then get a feel for how it moves. For me, like I like looking when the market opens at 9:30, I like to wait 15 minutes, 15 to 30 minutes before I take a trade because then the market gives you a little bit more information about where it wants to go, what it wants to do. And if I miss a trade, it's okay. But these are hard things to grow into, I should say. Like they're hard lessons to learn. And like the day that I'm trying to trade right here, the 17th of February, this is a hard day for me to figure out. They've taken the high, they've taken the low. If all of your expectations have already been reached, there's not much else to do, right? But come back another day. If you look at the charts and it makes no blasted sense, do not press a button. Oh, you're brand spanking. Well, here's the problem, right, with the trading scene. There's like 50 million different people teaching stuff. A lot of that stuff there's a ton of overlap, different naming conventions for everything. Personally, I learned from ICT. I know a lot of people don't necessarily like him because he's his videos are long. He talks a lot and there's a ton of information, but no joke. What I'm trading is technically the 2022 model for ICT. So my advice, because this is just the way I learned, is let me find a link and drop it in the chat here. Is take a look at his stuff. Actually, I'm gonna drop two, and you can pick which one makes is simpler for you to understand because everybody teaches differently. Where are you? I'll drop the playlist for the 2022 model for you. This is like super easy. Um, when I say super easy, I mean like the playlist. There's 41 videos in the playlist. I would like to share this playlist. Can I do that? Shuffle, loop. How do I share? Because the dude teaches, he loves teaching and he's pretty good at it. I don't know that you need more than this particular one, but it's really, really up to you. I'm trying to figure out how to share the playlist. Go back. Save. View full. Okay. Ah, here we go. Share. Give me a link. Copy.
All right, folks. How you doing? Hope everybody's doing well.
Oops.
And this is just a kind of like a prep to get your mindset correct.
Oh, don't be adding videos. Okay, let's see. Okay. I don't know. We made a low. We swept it. I might be interested in attempting a short. Let's see. What does a one micro stop look like? Nope. You would need to be above that high for me. And then let's see if we can take that low out. Just as a test. So I mean, that's all I can say. Like that's who I learn from. All right, let's see. Let's push this forward a couple minutes. Might not even get tagged into this thing. Because this is a weird sort of day, and I really don't think they'll pop back up. Let's push forward another 5 minutes. So I might give this day a miss. I mean, normally I probably would give this day a miss. Took the high, took the low. I'm just going to assume we're going to continue down. Yep. Okay. So what could have done better on this one? Like we swept the high, we did this nice shift below here. Could have taken the entry here, which they came back up into, and now they're dropping. Mm. Hey, yeah, Wolfie's the one to talk to. I'm still losing money. And kiss that money goodbye. Wolfie is straight up about kissing that money goodbye. Okay, on the 5 minute, oof. There's no way in hell I could take a short with this order block. It's too rich for my stop. Let's push forward. I don't know. That's 2 days I wouldn't have taken a trade. Looks like. Started in stocks, tried Forex. All right. I really still don't understand. I don't really understand options. Options sound scary. Maybe I'm just still sleepy or something. I'm surprised Bob isn't in here, like providing his wisdom, his Bob wisdom. Or maybe this is too early for Bobby. It's too early for Bobby. All right, so we've taken the low again. So what does this 1 hour candle look like? Oof. Oof. Yeah, I mean, I'm okay as long as Bob's okay. But Bob's not been around a lot lately. I think he loves Maya more than us, y'all, Wolfie. I guess he really isn't here. I thought he would pop up and be like, uh-uh. Drop a Bobby wisdom code. And what happened to High Life? He hasn't popped up in weeks. Oh, he's talking about mine. I have a very small, tiny Discord. It's just me and like Wolfie, Bob, and two other traders. We just talk about our setups and stuff. Can't take anything down here. It's too late. This would be nice, but if we could pop back up on the 5 minute, this little crack here wouldn't be a bad place for a short. But that stop, the stop would need to be up here. And this is 1 micro. Ugh. But it's above this guy. There's no fair value gap, so we're digging into the fair value gap. I don't trust. I don't know, man. That's none of this feels like a good entry. All right, Wolfie, I'll let you decide. You can give it to him if you want. We can put a temporary one just for this. Because Bobby might smack us in the face. Let's push this up a few minutes. Still haven't been able to take a trade. This is annoying. Yeah, pop back up. Pretty bearish. Got a little break. So I like these little breaks right here. You know what? I'm going to test it out on a single micro. Don't try this at home, folks. It's also not really great setup. It's not. Did we do? Okay, so to take this, let me see where that stands on a 1 minute. Okay, so let's see. Oh, come on. On the 1 minute, order block, a little bit of a break here. Not super exciting. The only reason why I would be interested, hang on. I gotta push it back a minute because sometimes Thinkorswim won't connect unless this candle continues up. Let's see, does it? Okay, all right. 1 micro. Might get our horses handed to us. So 1 micro. I would love to, on the 5 minute, I would love to see this. I'm gonna go back to the 5 minute because the 1 minute looks like trash. So the only reason why I was interested is that tiny little break right there and the fact that we've been aggressively bearish and we've been taking the lows out. So a return back up here made kind of a small amount of sense. Oh man, ain't nobody got time to be making multiple discords. I'm barely keeping up with the one we got. Let me see. All right, let's see if this 1 micro trade would work for us. Or if it's just one of those days of just awfulness. So we have a fair value gap here, bearish. Like to see this candle not close to close bearish if we can. Yeah, I'll let Wolfie decide since he's the one that suggested it. Oh yeah. Like I said, this is not a setup. I'm just bored. And this is what you need to avoid as traders. Like I would never take this trade in real life. Just because this day sucks. And look, I would have gotten fully and completely owned on this day. Because this is nothing. Remember what I said? My entry should be at the order block, but this thing is huge. Like, how else could you even get in here? Yeah, I'll let Wolfie decide. All right, so we would have, on stupidity, lost $95. Let's move on. This day sucks. All right, let's head to the next day. Now we got to make back stuff of silliness. All right, let's go to the daily. Okay, so I don't know if this is just lying to me and telling me shit ahead of time. Okay, so it's 9. Again, we failed to take out or close for our body. So yesterday, okay, have I mentioned how much I really, really hate ranges? And these days are just kind of shit. All right, so since we've been trending upward on the 4 hour, I'm gonna note this bearish fair value gap. I hear kitties being adorable downstairs. All right, and we've been rejected off of this guy again. Until we close the 4 hour body, we'll probably won't drop below here. Let's look at that 1 hour liar liar pants on fire NQ. So it's digging into this order block here on the 1 hour. Do we have any news on this day? Jeez. The 18th. Oh, it's FOMC day. So the morning can be a bit of a shit show on FOMC day. Oof. Crypto, gold, and silver? Brother, you need to simplify. We need to simplify. All right, so it's FOMC, so we got to be super, super careful. We are enjoying a beautiful, beautiful range. So where's London? London low, they took it out here inside this order block. If we pop back up more bullish, this is very bullish, then I would say we can go up here. Also, I'm trying to forget the fact that the daily showed me the fact that it runs up there. Oh, okay. Brother, that's a lot of indicate. I tried all of those when I started. All of them. All it did was confuse the hell out of me. Plus they're lagging. They're laggy as hell. So I don't use any indicators now. I don't know that I think that you need that. All right, so for me, we've swept London. That would make me happy. We have a 5 minute order block here. If we shift above here aggressively, I like to see it run up and then do a retracement and turn back up one more time. Let's see. Let's push this to 9:45 real quick so we don't have to wait. Okay, so we closed. Be nice if it left a fair value gap in here. So it's the first shift. Now I'm going to wait. And look, don't get me wrong. Everybody starts trading using all of the indicators and all that stuff. And a lot of people use it to great effect, But for me personally, I can't use it. It blocks price. So if you see what I'm doing right here, like none of this is an indicator. Like I've put a box in here just to note where fair value gaps are. I put my own lines in here just to note where the previous day highs are and stuff. And that's it. Okay, if we had an immediate rebalance, meaning we dropped and then just ran up. Yeah. See, Wolfie can tell you, man, one product. You're doing too much. That's why you're confused. All of these products, they move a little differently and you want to be able to focus on one. Like me, I only trade NQ. Oh my God. What are we doing, kitties? Duo kitties on the ledge. Hold on. I don't know if I can even show you guys. That's kitty one. Kitty number two. Seriously, on the ledge. These darn cats. Yeah, you need to simplify, my friend. Simplification will make your life so much easier. All right, let's see if there's something on the 15-minute I could use. Yes, there is. Sometimes I forget to check. So, I like this little fair value gap. I'll tell you why. Okay, so we created it here, price dropped, used it as support, dropped. Came back up, totally disrespected it, used it as support, ran up. Now we've run back into it, wicked through it, and we're pushing back up. So my preference at the moment is for a long because we've reclaimed it. So let's see how price behaves. But yeah, I absolutely agree with Wolfie. That's way too much. New traders, like everybody's got all this advice and trade this, trade that. Pick one thing, one thing that's clean, and focus on that. When you've mastered that, when you're making money from that, that's when you if you feel like it, you can switch to something else. But otherwise, Wolf is right. One indicator, one pair. All right, can we please, for the love of everything, and look, I spend every Sunday 3 hours backtesting. Every Sunday. Why? Because I want to refine my setup. Like, that's it. I want to refine it. And I spend all this time just trying to get it right and get comfortable. Because I have this weird fear of the sound that Thinkorswim makes whenever I get into a trade. Because all I've heard is the sound of it stopping me out. You know what's funny? My car has the same sound in it when it passes a um a a stoplight, not a stoplight, traffic light. Like the one that would give you a ticket. Like it counts down, and then when it passes. Speaking of which, I meant to find out if I could change that. Oh yeah, look here, man. There are ton. Let me tell you something about profitable traders, right? They might trade one or makes them money. Ugh. The heck? Huh. Yeah, Wolfie is right. Profitable traders don't use indicators. I mean, there might be a few that do, like one. They're not gonna bum rush a whole bunch of them. Did this, is my connection just crap right now? What the hell? What is happening? Is my internet connection just acting? No internet. Why? Guys, my internet is act. Girls, do you believe this? For how long? The heck? Come on. Yeah, I know. My internet's acting up, and I can't seem to figure out why. Okay, am I back? I don't know what the heck that was. Sorry, guys. It's funny that YouTube would just keep going. Okay, sorry about that. I don't, my internet just stopped. I rebooted the whole laptop and looks like it reset me back to wherever I was here for Thinkorswim. Uh, that was annoying. The heck was that? And Wolfie's like, put the router into the dishwasher and give it a whirl. That's funny. Yes, with terrible internet is why I'm back. Apparently, I don't know. I'm gonna put that through a dishwasher. Wolfie, I'm gonna take your advice. It's gonna be dishwashing. We're going dishwash hardcore. The heck was that? Anyway, where were we? Let me read these stuff. It's gonna say, yeah, let me tell you something about people on platforms, okay? They're all just kind of hanging about, talking to the same folks on X, on Twitter, on. Man, skip all that noise. Turn it off. Focus on what you need to do, not what they're doing. Because the way you trade and the way they trade is going to be an entirely different vibe. Okay, let's go back to resetting this account. I had to log back into everything, so I apologize, y'all. All right, we're on the 18th, 9:45. Can I please get something I can actually trade? These days can be really frustrating because of the way they form. This already took this day, previous day's high out. Man. All right. Are we back where we can actually do something? And hopefully my internet stays excellent. What the heck, man? I actually don't even think it was my internet. But you know what's weird? Like I checked the router and it's saying it's getting not. Okay, now it's talking about it's got stuff. Like stronger KPS. You know, I'm gonna have to do some work on optimizing this thing for real. Well, I dropped a link in the chat. Scroll up. Like that's how I learned technical analysis. I actually did a couple of things. I did a couple of things. I took a class. I paid a dude and I took a class because I was more into crypto at the time. And, I was talking to a crypto dude. Well, not talking to him directly, but he had like a class. So I paid for the class and I did the class. And all that class taught me was how to use a few indicators, how to um, invest and stuff like that, right? It didn't do what I needed it to do. So I was still looking for something that would tell me why the candles move the way they move, why they would stop in a particular place. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted to be able to, what's the word I'm looking for? Not determine, but you know, figure out where price might go. You know what I mean? So that's how I was looking at Meet Kaplan. I liked his videos. They're simple. They're easy to understand. But then I was watching one of his vids and he was like, yeah, so I learned everything from ICT. So I didn't know who that was. And so he dropped a link. He had a link in the description. So I found the 2022 model, which is what I put in the chat for you. And that's how I ended up like spending a ton of time learning ICT, like everything from fair value gaps, inversion fair value gaps, order blocks, mitigation blocks, breaker blocks. There's a ton of things that he teaches. The important part about all of that is to pick the thing that works for you and nothing else. Pick the thing that works for you and nothing else. And pick one thing. 'Cause that's the thing traders don't understand. Like, if you keep switching your setup, if you keep switching it, oh, I traded this setup for a week and it didn't work, let me go try something else. No, you need hundreds of trades behind that testing to confirm that it actually doesn't work. And also to confirm that it does. To be honest, right? I really don't like this turmeric ginger orange tea, but it's good. Turmeric is good for the extremities and stuff. But anyway, so yeah, I spent a year going through ICT content, back testing before I even put a dollar in the market. And then so I'm Jamaican, right? And then we can be stubborn. And then, I worked for a particular company that limits like the brokers and things that I can use. So the only broker I can use is Thinkorswim. And I got really pissed because Thinkorswim only charges the same for fees. Yeah, it's very good. It charges the same fees for minis as for micros. So my original plan of starting off with micros got shot in the foot because I refused to spend at the time what would have been, let's say I wanted to trade 10 micros, that would have been $73 versus $7.30 for one mini. So then I spent the last 2 years, 2024 and 2025, trading micros and stressing myself out because my stop was so tiny. Because I'm only risking 0.5%. I'm only risking 0.5%. So my stop had to be exactly 37 ticks. So then all of my entries at that point had to be like so very like sniper. And when I got it, I got it. But that caused me to fear putting the trade on, you know? And I'd missed so many good setups. Like I'd miss them all. Oh, hold on. Let me fix this fair value gap here. With the internet issues, I don't know what happened, but All right, so what day is it? So where's London? London lows are here. They just took that out nice. And I need this hour candle close. I'm gonna push this to 10 o'clock. Can I please, for the love? And the thing is, like, the way I trade, it's possible for me to go like a whole week and not find a good setup. Seriously? Oh, Wolfie, did you see that hour candle? Do you see it? You see how it was like indecisive and then as it closed, slap you in the face? Like, so rude. Now, here's the thing, right? If they take this thing before I can get in on a trade to get to it, I just wouldn't take a trade this day because actually, I apologize. We didn't actually like take a look at where they might go. So let me duplicate this. So that's the previous day high right there. Well, actually, this one is, but here's another one. And I'm really more interested in the equal highs up here more than anything. So we'll just call that buy side liquidity. But that's a little bit about my history anyway. Yep. I mean, days like this is just so annoying. Like, what the hell? So I like this. I like this. Take out London low. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Shift up. Lovely. and then second shift, and then just run away and not give nobody a chance to get in on that action. Let's look at the 1 minute. I'm a little offended. Yeah. Look at this. Okay. A little marking time here. Finally. See, I don't like the wick shifts, so I wouldn't have considered this a shift up. I'd wait for this guy. And then I would need to see a shift above here because I like the second entry. I'm not the aggressive trader person. I'm not the aggressive trader. I don't know. The first potential is would be here at the base of this fair value gap. Still feels like Bobby. Well, I mean, I pushed it up to 10 o'clock and it was already gone. So, wait, was there any news on this day? Hold on. Sorry, I need to open stuff up. What's up, Bobby? Let me check the calendar because I had to restart, so we didn't even look at the calendar. No, I would have, but look, the way I trade, right? Like I need, let's see here. Yeah. So I would need this high here to get shifted with a body. We had a wick here. She's right here on the ledge. Yeah, she's right here. I'm looking at her. She's not in the washing machine. I promise. I promise. All right, no. Waking up, drinking coffee, time adjust got me mess. What time adjustment? Did we push forward or something and I didn't notice? Did we have we didn't have daylight savings. Did we? Oh shit, we did. I honestly didn't even notice, Bobby. I did not even notice. You know what? That makes perfect sense. I'm like, why did I wake up so close to 9 o'clock? It should have been like seven something, but no, I woke up at eight something. That's what happened. Oh, that's some bullshit. Yeah. Okay, so no. And why? Call Starbucks and complain their Wi-Fi is buffering again. What is happening today? Usually this doesn't happen until I'm like 3 hours in. You know what? I can't. This is ridiculous. This is absolutely positively ridiculous. What is going on? I'm gonna have to restart my whole router. Man, I'm really salty right now. Guys, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. This is unexpected behavior, and I apologize. And it looks like my freaking live is getting eaten up by foolishness. Sigh. I might have to call it and fix my internet drama. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I'm about to go restart the router and everything. Because this is ridiculous. Like, what the hell? It's messing up my whole backtesting vibe. And like, where would I have gotten in? Because I would have, let's see. This candle's probably really large. All this buffering. Let's see. Even if I wanted to take a long here, my stop would have been here and I wouldn't have felt comfortable. Would have been a nice juicy run though, but I don't know. I can't my brain's not really here. And my next entry area of interest would have been right here. Same thing, right there. Never came back and gave me anything. This is the kind of days I really dislike, Like All right, cool. We shifted up beautifully. Second shift for me, confirmation. I would have set my entry right here, and then I would have watched it run off. Actually, with one micro, that would have been like there. And then I would have watched it run away and not tag me in. How would you have gotten into this, Bob? Because I know you do like the 5 minute orb, right? So once it leaves the area, like once you had the confirmation and it left the area, this, you would have taken it here, right? With a stop like what, under here? And then you would have been sitting pretty. Beautiful. Dog face, that's not a bad thing. Like Bobby's really great with he's a much better teacher than me. Guys, my internet is acting the fool today. I'm so salty. And I don't know that I would have caught anything. It's like 10:07. Like, what a day. What a day. And honestly, if they're going to continue up higher, let's look at the 4 hour while we still have internet. Yeah, they're digging into this guy. I would say, like, the bottom of this order block on the 4 hour would be like the next thing I'd be interested in if they want to continue going. But they'd have to retreat back down, blow past the high again for me to even be remotely interested in a long. Because they could just turn right back around now and just run back this way. So Bobby, Dogface is brand spanking new to trading, and Wolfie and I have been just sort of talking to him. Wolfie's given him the better advice, of course, because you guys have been trading longer than me. But Dogface has the usual issue of being a new trader and all the social media posts, everybody's telling them to use this indicator, that indicator, trading too many pairs and being massively confused because of it. Because why wouldn't you be confused? So he's looking for somebody to help guide him. And both Wolfie and I were like, Bob's a better teacher than either of us. So yeah. Also, Wolfie suggested adding him to the Discord, but I left that up to Wolfie. And now that you're here, you can make a decision as well. I'm not going to add anybody because it's supposed to be a small space. So if you guys are cool, I'm cool, and if we can help another trader, I'm okay with that. This session sucks. This price action needs to go in a corner and die. Sorry, I'm really salty. Like seriously, really salty. I'm gonna push this forward to 10:15 because the trade I would have wanted, they would have left me in the dust. My desire, okay, so they rolled up. Fair value gap, fair value gap. Let's look at the 5 minute. Okay, they tapped the previous day high and just kept going. They tapped into this fair value gap and kept going. Anything up here now becomes chasing price, and I'm not interested. I would love some sort of retracement. The 1 minute probably looked like they retraced a little bit into this fair value gap and ran up. So let me plop this to 5 more minutes. It probably runs away without me. It's just one of them days. Like my preference, I want them to dig deeper back down. 5 more minutes. 10:25. So far, I've got nothing clean. Very aggressive push up. Wait, is this the FOMC day? Let's see. This is February 18th. That is a Wednesday. Oh, yeah. Like, most times I would just skip the morning before FOMC. So, because it can be a little chaotic. Sometimes you get some good trades though, but sometimes you just don't. And now we're just chopping sideways. Yay. I don't know. Maybe you went to get some coffee. I don't know. If he's just waking up. But I'm mad I completely missed daylight savings time. I completely I was like, why the heck why did I wake up at like 8:19? I was like, this is not natural. I'm usually up, on the weekends by 7 or so. But that explains it. If we push forward an hour, that explains everything. All right, if we push past this, I don't know. I don't like it. It doesn't fit. The trade I wanted was down here. And sometimes it just runs away from you. And when they run away, I mean, there's not much you can do. I'm pushing it forward for every 5 minutes now because I'm getting impatient and can move on. And then maybe we can see what FOMC did. Weak close up here on that 5 minute. Still a bullish close, was weak. And it's getting close to 11, so I probably wouldn't bother to take anything after this. Yep, we're losing steam up here. And it could continue up. I'd have to come back another day. Yeah, all right. Just for funsies, let's see what FOMC look like. So let's go to 14. Let's go 1430 because I wouldn't look at anything for FOMC until after. Wow. Yeah, look at that. We just chopped around. That's the problem, right? Like if the market's moving really aggressive in one direction and it starts to peter out, I find that it likes to chop sideways. Well, this looks like a weak FOMC. So let's move on. This week sucks. I've decided. Tell me if you made money this week. Wolfie, Bob, I don't remember. Did you guys make money on these days? Because this sucks. This is a sucky week. The week before was much cleaner. Okay, let's do a little cleanup here. So the 4 hour, this is February 19th, and we've swept all the highs, so we've swept all the lows here. I mean, let me back up. Because if we look at the overall, it's still pretty bearish, right? I mean, we drop, but we failed to take the low out. But we took that low. We made a lower low on the 4 hour. Then we swept these guys. So still bearish. Fours, looking bearish. Oh yeah, you can miss trades all the time because, the market just goes, and sometimes the only way into a trade is YOLO, and YOLO doesn't make you money long term. So that's why I'm sitting here trying to just work through my own trading model. And Dogface, since you are brand new, I'm going to pause this for a second and then I'm going to nip over into TradingView for a hot second, just so you understand what I'm actually looking for trades, just for funsies. Okay. So let me find a decent example. The last few days suck. So trending markets is when it's moving upward like that, or it's moving down like that. And you can just know, okay, I'm going to take a short. And the only thing you have to think about is how to get into that short. You know what I mean? What we've been having for the last, I don't know how many days now, is this crap, which is giant piles of consolidation. And it makes it really hard for folks like me sometimes to get in because you want this. You want this, you don't want this. You don't want that. But anyway, so here's what I'm looking for when I'm trading, right? I'm looking for a scenario like this, right? Let's say, and let's use this guy as an example, right? I'm looking for some higher time frame liquidity, like these highs up here, nice, smooth, equal, juicy looking. I'm looking for them to get swept like they did here, right? They sweep that. That's the nice pull of liquidity. And then after that, I'm looking for, once they sweep that liquidity, I'm looking for something like this. Like once they sweep the liquidity, then if I'm bearish, right, then I'm looking for them to sweep that liquidity. Then I need a shift. Hold on. My drawing skills are sucky right now. What? Hang on. I'm not drawing it right. So sweep of the liquidity, then a shift, make a lower high, another shift, and then aim for the lows. Okay. So then from an entry model perspective, once that sweep has occurred, take this out, return back into it, take the next low out, then my entry would be here with a stop like that, and I'd go for like whatever the next set of lows are or something like that. You know what I mean? And then same thing for longs, right? Like, let's say use that low as an example. So if they take that low out, similar scenario, I want them to sweep it and then shift above that area, and then I want a long. It's that simple. A lot of people take the trade at the first shift, which is here. I take it at the second because that's more confirmation. But, just so you know what I'm looking for and why I get so annoyed when I don't see it in price. And what we're doing right now is like pre-market review. Like, where is it likely to go? What am I looking for as like targets? So like this is pretty close as a target. Honestly, with the way this price is moving, anything coming back into here is, and that low for highs would be this high and that high, or mainly just the fair value gap itself if we're going long. Anyway, let's press play and speed this puppy up. Was there any news this day? Also, always check to see if there's news. So there was a orange folder at 10 and unemployment claims at 8:30. Orange folder I don't care too much about, so we're just gonna ignore that one. So for now, this low is kind of the first target. I'll just like note it. If they give us some sort of ability to get to it before, okay, so opens I cannot stand. This is just chop. And we swept the chop. We swept the chop once here. We swept the chop once here. We failed to take the high out. So everybody's probably trying to go short in all of this. So I don't take any trades until about 15 minutes after. Yeah, the higher time frame was looking pretty bearish, but it's just a big chop zone. We've basically just come back into spaces we've already been, and I do not like these markets. I don't know how people are surviving most of these days, most of these weeks. If price action isn't clear, what's the point in taking a trade? Look at this shit. Yeah, you have to have some reason for utilizing the areas that you're utilizing. Like it can't just be any, so for example, like everybody's talking about fair value gaps and all that good stuff, and then newbies be using every single fair value gap like it's the fair value gap. It's not. It has to be in an area of interest, right? And I like to use ones that have been used. So here's a good example, right? I wasn't even looking at this, but look at this bullish fair value gap right here, right? Look at this guy. Let me just mark him out. And the reason why I pay attention to the specific fair value gaps is because I want to see that they've been used previously for some purpose, right? We're inside a bigger fair value gap on the 1 hour, but this is a 15-minute one. Like this one right here, we see it, we've tapped it, tapped it, tapped it, run up, tapped it, run up. And it's supported price in this direction. Yay. So then once we see that price has like dropped, like destroyed it, just like blew through it like it owed it money. Now, for me, I would be more than happy to take a short from the base of this thing if it gives me some opportunity. So if we look at the 1 minute, right? And I'm going to scroll to the left here. It's like when it blew through it originally, I would have taken a short from this order block right here with a stop above here. I would have. I don't know how big of a short that would have been, but I would have taken it. Now this is in London and I would not have been awake, but if it happened in New York, I would take it. Big caveat though. If they dropped and took out the higher time frame like sell side liquidity, then I wouldn't take it because the liquidity is already taken. There's no guarantee they'll keep going down, you know? But this, per Wolfie's, thought process is looking hella bullish. For me to take along in this chop fest right here, I would like to see this candle made the low. So that's like, yeah, I would need them to leave this whole space. This is just disgusting price action. Why would the price go down? One, news, two, catalyst. I mean, either really, or, Trump tweets something and then, Trump, it's multiple reasons why price will go down. Now, I would be interested in a long if we like, well, so here's the problem, right? When these fair value gaps are too close together, they give me ulcers. So you don't want to like overdo them at all. So I have this big boy because there's an area in here for a long I'd be interested in, potentially. But for Wolfie, Wolfie's like it's looking pretty bullish. On the shorter time frame, let's see, on the 4 hour, yeah, on the 4 hour, it's looking bullish with a retracement into an order block. On the 1 hour, that's still pretty bullish. We haven't really like I need them to take this out for eh, yeah, choppy. Yeah. I don't like this type of price action. It's meant to confuse you and make you and make you make stupid decisions. It really is. And in the 15 minute, I mean, what is this? I'm so serious. Like, what is it? I don't know what it is. Like, if this 15-minute close is like, this is about to be 10 o'clock. So that, orange folder news. Like so here's one thing I cannot stand. Whenever pre-market we get big move down before New York, I usually assume that I'm not going to get a trade because I expect this kind of crap. Because we had, for once, London had clean movement, clean, juicy movement. But New York, before New York open and we get this kind of thing, sometimes we get this crap after. And with all of these wicks, where is my stop gonna need to be? Down here? I don't think one micro could even withstand this stop. Ugh, disgusting. Just pure disgustingness. So when I did the first 2 weeks of February backtesting, the first week wasn't great. The second week was beautiful. Got beautiful, clear, obvious trades in. But this, oh my God, this third week is looking like a shit show. But look at you, Wolfie. You're like, it's looking real bullish. And, you're absolutely right. Absolutely right. Now, 10 o'clock, that's looking a lot better. I'm gonna move to the 1 minute. Nice sweep. Personally, I would like to see them dig into this fair value gap because it's quite easy for them to tap it and drop. So part of the things I'm trying to learn while I'm doing this is also figuring out on the fly, like how many micros I need to take, right? How many micros? Now, if I were to like use the 1 minute for entries, so this order block right here would be the one to beat for them to shift over. They didn't do that until here. So then I would need like a retracement back. We got that here. So on a 1 minute, like this would be the entry for a long. But I don't really trust 1 minute shifts as much. On the 5 minute, technically we had the shift as soon as we coming in here. So, but if you can, but you can see the structure, right? Or you can see it, but it's not clean. And I don't like not clean because when it's not clean, it can come back and rip you in the face. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. If the 1 minute is not clear, go to the 2 minute. Clean up the 1 minute. So on the 2 minute, yep, order block's still up here. They just shifted above it. Here, they did a shift here. But again, whenever it's so choppy, I trust none of it. None of it. Let's push this to 10:15. If this pushes up, so I would wait just because I don't trust choppy spaces. Because when it's choppy like that, it wants to stay choppy. You know what I mean? And then you just get chopped up all the time. It's just mean. So far this week has been a huge bust of BS. See, look at us. We're just chopping sideways again. Ugh, what a pain. No joke. This is what I say to myself. Like when I'm looking at the charts and I'm trying to work, like I'm working and I'm like trying to focus on, potential trades and stuff. I'm gonna take this as a 5 minute. Look at it. So on the 5 minute, I would need it to push above here with alacrity. And then I would take it at the top of the order block here. But we've done none of that. So we just gotta wait. Let's push it another 5 minutes. Invalidated. Okay. Guys, I feel like I should just skip this week and go to the next week because this week sucks. All right, so let's look at the 5 minute. So this candle took out these lows. So this is the order block to play with, and we closed above it. In this chop, I trust nothing. But if it was a clean shift, then I would take it at the body of this guy. So because look, let's say we did do that, right? This would have to be a 1 micro trade, and it would be, my stop would have to be under that low right there. Okay, so we're in. My stop would have to be under that low. But this is a low probability trade in my mind because chop. Because of the chop. I would just aim for this high over here. Because of the chop, it can run down, it can take me out, it can do all kinds of bull crap because chop. Now, if this moves, taps it, and we can break into this bearish fair value gap with some alacrity, life is like a box of chocolates. But that would be like the only potential trade I could take after we've moved all the chop because of this bullish candle and the order block it validated after that. But the next few candles need to move up and it needs to do it with some clarity. But again, we're in chop, so the probability of actually getting good clarity in trades in days on days like this is really low. Anyway, let's wait for that to say 1040. Okay. So ICT talks about macros, right? Like the 1050 macro. Like I said, I wouldn't really take this because of the choppiness, but we're testing it because its price is more likely to want to sit in a range after a big move down than actually like go somewhere. Let's push this up. Let's see if the 1050 macro can give us some movement. See what I'm saying? It's shit. It's Chop is a shit place to trade. So I only put this on just to note that it's a shit place to trade, not because I believe this was going to be a good trade. I don't. It's also a good reminder to myself, like, don't take these shitty days because they are what? Shitty. I would have just closed out and come back later. Because look, what did I say? I said you can easily come back down and mess with you and knock you out. It totally can. And look, why are we down here? Also, I said I wanted to get something up here, but just to make the point, I put the silly trade on. And this is on the 5 minute. Chop, chop, chop. So absolutely, positively can knock me out of this silly trade. I wouldn't actually take this, but because I hate chop. Chop is like the chop is the oh, so this is Thinkorswim. Um, so I don't use brokers or prop firms. I can't. My job. This is the only approved broker that I can use. Um, Also, you note that I put my stop at the swing low that it created here, and we dropped back down and we came back up, still chopping. So I personally, if I could, I would trade prop firms because they give so much opportunity for disciplined traders to make real money, you know, without having to come out of pocket. For me, this is my own money. When I trade and I lose, it's all mine. If I'm down $700 for the year, that's all my money. When you lose $700 on a prop firm, that's fake money. That's fine. All you're losing is the fee. It whatever the fees that cost you to create like that evaluation or the funded account or whatever it is that you're using. Like Wolfie would be better to explain that sort of thing. But remember what I said about chop? This is just bullshit. Don't trade it. I'm just showing you why I would not touch this. Look at that. Just sideways. Let's push this forward to 11:10. Wow, this week in February is just crap. Look at that. It's about to knock me out. It's bullshit. It's just a waste. Just a waste of energy. Anyway, I'm gonna just stop this out real quick. There we go. And let's move on to a day that's not shit. So let's see if the Friday's any better, then we move on to next week. But like I said, this is not a day I would actually take. I would not take that trade. I don't like the chop. Chop doesn't do diddly squat for me. See, look at that. Okay, so what we have now. It's another day back in the chop. All the chop. Who loves the chop? Not me. We're still in chop chop. How are you guys trading this? Jesus, this is awful. What are we doing? We've gone nowhere. Okay. All right. So this PA is just awful. I don't know, man. This is awful. All right. So what do we do here? Look like they took out the previous day's lunchtime low, which includes London. London highs up here. So we have one, two, three lower highs. If this, seriously, this price action is like for the birds. It's for the birds. It's literally for the birds. All right, so we swept some stuff. We tap back into this guy, and then we're back. We're back at the same place the day before, y'all. The day before. I can't trade this day. This is awful. Let me see. Was there news? Like these, this is the February 20th. All right, so there is orange folder news at 10 a.m. Wolfie, I mean, is it? Is it? We're in a giant range. We're in a giant range. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. I hate ranges. Just keep ping pong balling in between it. Look at it. We just we blew into the discount and then ran back up. I swear to God, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna take a short from up here. Back into the range. Right here to here. To the, you know what? To the 50%. How about that? We're gonna leave it up. But look at this fair value gap. We stopped at the midpoint of it. Ha ha ha. And we like tapped the order block, dropped. For anybody who, what time is this? So for the London folks, they would have gotten a nice little thing previous day, a short that way. And then for all the people who are trying to go short, they would have had bullish behavior. No joke. This PA is it giving me ulcers. I'm gonna push this to 10 o'clock because you know how we feel about these candles, man. I don't trust them. All right, well, that one pushed up. That one swept stuff out. That pushed up. Again, same situation as the day before. We got rejected off of here. We got rejected. I need something to pop up above here. I'm not touching it otherwise. This is some bullshit. Man, this is some bullshit. Let's see what the 15-minute looks like. Well, that's better than yesterday. Clear shift. Let's see what the 5-minute look like. All right, so all right. It's kind of promising. It's kind of promising if we, oh my God. All right. Let's see what a long looks like for 2 micros on that. It's seriously, so not one of these days I just run off again and so I really want to take like 2 micros for everything, but so we have this 5-minute order block. I want to see if I'm gonna just do a 1 micro. Part of the reason, did that tap into that at all? Nice shift here on the 5-minute run up. No opportunity to get in here. Maybe the 1 minute, but I don't really trust the 1 minute. I need a clean 5-minute shift before I do anything. So I would take a 1 micro, but my stop would have to be below these lows. Like this low that formed right here. And let's see if we can't get to the top of this thing. Though, crap. Sometimes I do that. Though, what did they just clear out? Hey, Maddie, what's up? What did they just clear out? Because I might have just made the mistake I make every once in a while where I forget what they just blew through and then get my arse handed to me. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm a dum dum because they blew through the London highs here. Should have waited for the long, waited for more confirmation. Because now, they've taken a previous day, they've taken London out. So there's, no guarantee that they're going to just keep going. They don't have to, especially in this weird price action. But we're in at this guy. So if this guy can close up and recover this candle right here, might be all right. It is a very bullish move here. Very bullish. Decent close, and we climbed into here. So this guy needs to close bullish. Once you're into the trade, man, it's like a hope and a prayer after that. And what am I aiming for? So I just said the top of the range. So I'm not even gonna bother the top of the range. I'm just gonna go for the extreme of the top of these candles right here. And go with the flow. Okay. So my entry was here on 1 micro. That's not terrible. So let's see if we can push up. That's a 5-minute candle. My entry should have been here actually at the body of this guy. Why did I put it here again? Did I look at the 1 minute and think, yeah, let's do that? All right, I need you to keep going up and not make a lower high here because that will be bad. I wouldn't mind a return back down, make a swing low, and I can move my stop there. That'd be juicy. Okay, let's move this to, but I don't know. You gotta wait. This is 10:15, like another minute up. So I don't like coming into this fair value gap right here. I don't like that they're leaving this bigger one. So on the 5 minute, the setup is fine. Big shift up, but we left these guys open. I like that. Order block, shift up. I didn't really love that wick, but looks like we're about to invalidate that long. Oh, I don't really look at ETH and Bitcoin unless just from a long-term perspective. I used to like when I first started trading, trade them like in tiny amounts, but and that's why structure matters. Like if we can get past this, then I can move my stop to right under here. It's not going to mitigate it a ton, but so the entry should have been here. I think I took it here just to take the wick into account. And it's a single micro. So let's see if we're gonna, I don't like that it came back down, but NQ, man, she's a little extra sometimes. Let's go to 1020. I don't like that close. But I like that she closed back up inside of this thing. This candle needs to be really bullish or this whole thing is just tanked. Come on, push up. So the wicks matter, right? Like if they stop, it's kind of like a fair value gap in some ways too. So like the midpoint of the wick, is like an area of interest for me. Like this first one like stopped at the midpoint and then reversed. Not great. I need this guy to just invalidate the hell out of it, close a body bit above it, and then, we cooking with Crisco. But if they're respecting this wick on the downside, then this trade is cooked. Nice, nice. Still two. Let's push this to 1025 so we can see how this candle closed. All right, that's better. I need you to continue going that way. Let's move the candle ourselves because let's go to 10:30. These half hours and full hours can move things along. Don't love that. But if we can push above that, then I can move my stop to just above break even. Come on, catch up. Sometimes when I push price around, yeah, so I don't love the way it's behaving. Order block. I wanted this to act as a propulsion, just push, but it's looking really weak. Remember what I said about this wick? We needed to get above it. Just can't catch a break, man. This week sucks. It was a really hard week to trade. A really hard week to trade. So it's in moments like this when I start to notice the weakness that maybe I should bail out. Um, but I always have that thought at the back of my head, like, if I bail out, what if it like, it's just gonna be a little choppy in that little section, marking price, marking time, and then it shoots up again. You know what I mean? Most times I'm, proven sadly wrong, but I think in the last 2 years of trading, like I've had a lot of those experiences and it's really kind of depressing where I've like bailed early and then it went straight to my TP afterwards. It's not a cool feeling. But I will say this though, like trading micros, like the losses feel less irritating because the stop is wider and it gives the trade a lot more opportunity to get to where it needs to go. So far, in all of this movement, like for me to move my stop comfortably, I would need them to break above one of these highs and close, and then I can move my stop to the swing low that did that break. Right now, we don't have any of that. So I'm going to push this to 1040 and see what we're working with. So we're chopping on the 5 minute, but I needed to break out of this space. Remember I said midpoint of this wick. It's right about here. So if we can get above that, then I'll be able to move my stop. But chop, man, the chop will get you. Okay, we've broken above that, so now I can move my stop. So it's not my entry was here, so I can move my stop here, and now we're finally rolling up. So let's see if we can't get up there. And actually, with that much on a single micro, I'm gonna put my stop just below this 5 minute candle. So at least I'm at break even on the trade. No, I need to get out of that habit. Put the stop where it needs to go, and that's it. That's it. Just put the stop where it needs to go, and that's that. So now we have we have some nice positive movement up. Now, once we get past this high, I will manage this a lot more closely because what do they say? Don't be a dick for a tick. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. And we're coming up at the top of the range. So it's quite possible for them to like turn around and smack me in the face. But it looks like they're gonna give me everything. Oh, come on. Did you see that? Look at it. Look at it. Zooming in. Look. Look at that. Do you see it? They like they ticked me. They stopped just like a couple inches from my TP. No. Ah. Oh my God, that is hilarious. And it's not funny. It's not funny at all. So I'm not taking a loss on this. I'm gonna put it underneath here and just let them. I'm I'm gonna put it under this 5 minute candle that's forming. I refuse. That was so silly. Okay, there we go. All right, finally one decent potential. This whole week, one decent potential trade. And then we had other trades where we would have wanted to get in, they didn't tag us in. So we would have made that for the week, approximately. Oh God, let's move on. That was annoying. Last week of February. Jeez. That's the thing about being a trader, right? Like you gotta sit through the crap price action too. You really do. You gotta sit through it. You gotta own it. You gotta be okay with it. It's just awful some days. All right, so hey, look, we're still in the range. Let me push this over. All right. So guess what? We're still in the range. The only thing that's happened with the range is that we ticked above it just a smidge, but we're still in the range. And we're still at the base of this fair value gap. I hate ranges. They really do irritate me. So the yesterday we got a thing and we got a nice long, even if it did chop about for a bit. So we caught this puppy right here to get into that nice. Um, where's London? Well, that's midnight right there. It's midnight open right there. So we're above it. London low is like right here. Is there any news on this day? This is the 23rd. No news. Can just trade the range of grossness. Seriously, what the heck? All right, Wolfie. Are you still bullish on this foolishness? They took what is essentially London highs. So let's push this to 10 o'clock and see how that candle closed because I don't be trusting this candle. Okay. Um, I'm gonna say, yeah, this price action is just crap. Like, oh, let's reset the account value because we're tracking what we would have made in a week. Okay. Yeah, this price action is pretty shit-tastic. Well, swept that 50-minute shift. The lows are potentially in play. We're in a premium. We could take a short. I don't know. But this PA, man, this PA is awful. Like it's really, really bad PA. So I'll tell you what. If we break below this low, then I would like aim for this purple thingy. Otherwise, I got nothing. Let's push this to 10:05. Okay, all right. So we haven't broken it yet. So I would take it just below the 50%, see if they want to go that way. All right, we just broke it. So this looks like a one micro trade. Oh, what? Hold up. Why did it put me in a long? Hold on. So what, the 5 minute? So I wanted a body though. Did you see that? It put me in a one micro trade. Anyway, I wanted a short, a sell. Okay, there we go. And the stop would have to be all the way up here. I don't even know how much that is, but that's where it would have to be. And that's a 5 minute entry. And that's because this candle broke that one. So let's see how we do. Reasons for the trade, they swept the highs. Here's the 5 minute candle. They shifted aggressively. Then we got another shift here. Not as beautiful, but still there. And I'd like to see, there's a fair value gap in here right here. So it's not weird if they want to pop back into that guy. I'm looking, but that's what I'm looking for. Technically, the 50% or just above it. Let me look at the 1 hour and see if there's any extremes I can aim for. So that low, that order block. Yeah, in this chop, I just look for the low. I just look for the 50% of the range and not worry about it too much because there's no guarantee that they'll follow through. And maybe, like I said, they'll come back in and tap the fair value gap. So if I had waited, not been less picky, I could have set my entry here. Would have been a little bit better than the bottom, but that's all right. Let's see if we get the follow through. This is on the 5 minute, by the way. So let's push this to 10:15. So at 10:15, we're just basically at my entry. I need to see some movement. Then I can move my stop to about here. Just mitigate it a little bit. This isn't moving. Come on. But yeah, that's my setup. Sweep, shift, shift, take it in the second shift. Let's push this to 10:20. That's where my stop is. Don't love that. But we are in chop, so. Oh, I mean, like sweep of liquidity. So people like to put their stops above these highs, right? So everybody who was going short, all the people who were short, their stops are above here. So they went ahead and swept them out, meaning liquid, just stopped them out, and then they dropped aggressively. Um, and so with this price and Wolfie's like flat, and I'm like not super excited about it, but I would have taken it and my stop would have been here on 1 micro. So I have to see how it plays. So same thing, like right here, we have people who also have stops for the folks who went long. And, if they haven't taken their profits, stops are probably still down here. So market likes to come and take them out. We're in a range. So I would be looking for them to at least come back to the 50% of the range, take these lows out. Once that happens though, I would be moving my stop to at least break even. But we're in a weird range, so I don't know. It's a hard day to decide to take a trade. And that's why my stop's all the way up here, because we made this lower high here on the 1 minute, this lower high. So if we can get back down, that'd be great. Let's push it forward 5 more minutes. But that's what I would have been interested in. And I like to watch it on the 5 minute because it's just cleaner. You can also watch it on the 2 minute. So my desire to move my stop now is I need this low to be taken. I can move my stop here. So we're just going to wait for we're going to keep pushing price forward by 5 minutes to see if we had any luck. That's why structure is so important to me. Beautiful, looking good. If we can continue on down, that'd be nice. But remember, the candle's still forming, so until it closes, I can't assume anything. All right. Did we take that low out? We did. So I'm going to move my stop to here. That's a less reducing my loss. And let's continue. Let's push price forward another to 1040, 4 minutes, see how we go. Once we take this low out, I'm going to move my stop to just past my original entry because there's no point in me taking a loss on this. I don't like this. I need this to expand. There's no fair value gaps in here on the 5 minute. Look on the 1 minute. It's like I want some follow through. It's 1040. Maybe the 1050 macro will help a sister out. Let's go back to the 5 minute. So if we can get some follow through, life would be like a box of chocolates. That looks good. So let's see if we can't blow through these lows and give me a little something, something. So I'm aiming for the 50% of the range. I probably should be aiming for this, but it's like 1 micro. I feel like I should aim for the world, for a single micro. But it's looking pretty decent. We've tapped into the order block again on here. So let's actually I'll aim for the middle. I'll aim for this order block down here. Let's get a little bit more out of it if we can. Because usually we want to aim for something inside of once it passed the 50%. So let's see. Let's go to the 1 hour. Yeah, let's aim for the extreme right here. Oops, not there. Extreme of that, the close of that 1 hour body with a single micro. Let's see if we can't get down there. But once we take these lows out, I'm gonna move my stop to break even, and because I need a waterfall. We're not really getting that. And they love to hesitate, just before they get down to lows. They love to hesitate, make you nervous, stress you out. And then once you feel like, oh my God, I need to get out of the trade, and you do, then they drop. Hey, that's a good song, man. TLC. Don't go chasing waterfalls. Please step to the river, the lakes that you're used to. Yes. Love that song. But you're right, Wolfie. Don't go chasing waterfalls. I'm chasing liquidity right now. Order block, fair value gap. Maybe they want to dig into it. It's 1 micro, man. Like $100 on a micro. What do you guys think is a good TP for a micro? $200 on a micro? You think that's enough? I'm asking you, Wolfie, because I don't really know. I'm still getting used to trading these. I don't like these 5 minute candles, man. So my entry was here. Once it takes this low out, I'm gonna cover. Probably to right here. Let's push it. Come on, 1050 macro. You can do it. I believe in you. Just drop. There you go. All right. I'm gonna put my stop right there because ain't nobody got time. And we right there. Boom. Much better week. Oh my God, the week before was such a shit show. Jesus. Jeez and peas. I bet it's gonna come back down to this thing, but that's all right. Aim for what's doable and what's not so bad. But yeah, take out the stops. Nice juicy shift here, second shift here, order entry here. Aim for something easy to get to, something below the 50% of the range. You think too much is too much at one micro? Yeah, you're right, you're right. But you know, if it can move, but I find that NQ, it's really weird, right? Like I wasn't even looking for 100 points on the minis, right? But somehow on the micros, I'm looking for them to move even more. And you know why? It's because like I spent all that time back testing the strategy and they were moving so much. So look at this. Probably could have rolled in to take out even more on one micro. Bruh, 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 bruh. Anyway, first trade. Moving on. 24th. Honestly, I'm just trading structure. I'm not even gonna bother with like how much. I'm just gonna go to where I think it's gonna go, and that's that. All right, let's look at this. Look at what we did. All right. So next day, still inside the range. Look at that. We could have gone down to the purple. We could have gone down to the purple. Yeah. All right. Back in the range. We're back above 50% of the range, but we're getting rejected off of here. Let's see if there's any news on the 24th. There's consumer confidence orange folder at 10. So we're looking real bearish right now, but this thing has held up 1, 2, 3. Let me count better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go to 10 o'clock because you know how these candles lie, man. You know how these candles lie. You know what's funny? Like backtesting is easier because I can push price forward. But like when I'm sitting around waiting, it's so boring. Like I'm playing my game, like I'm working usually. Ugh, that is a gross close. Okay, so they took London high, London low, and left, created equal lows all the way down here. We're back up in the premium of the range, so shorts, I guess. I hate ranges, but I need to figure out how to trade them. Look at that candle. Come on now. We took the high, we took the low. Come on now. Uh, I hate those candles. Like dojis can kiss my bumper. Just kiss it. And look, if I were to take a short on the 15, it would have to like break below this. No way. I feel bad for folks who are trading London though. Let me see. Was it that bad though? Um, well, they came down here after 345, shifted up. Yeah, it wasn't great. Let's see. So 2 o'clock, sort of just, they took that. Well, London wasn't so bad. Tapped into that fair value gap, swept those highs, shifted, no entry opportunity for a short. Okay, so we're swept into the lower portion of the range. We shifted up. So for me, I would need a secondary shift. These candles are huge. So again, a single micro trade. Let's push this forward to 1010. Because you notice we're still in the same places, right? We're trading the same freaking places. This is gross. Okay. Well, I like that they swept this. If I were to be bullish, and this is that, This would be preemptive though. This is a lot of 5 minutes to get through. A preemptive trade would be a long from here, stop right here. But I need to shift this way. Oh, but there's an inversion fair value gap right here. So they tapped into. So this would be aggressive though. Let's let that 5 minute candle close. 10:15. Sometimes it's hard. You got to stick to the model, but it's hard. So we had a shift here. I need another shift up here. If we shift below here and not that way, then a short is in order, potentially. Oh, they're so cute. Kitties. Kitties are so cute. You think 200 is too much? I don't think it is. Like, you saw that. You could totally make 200 on a micro easy. As long as NQ wants to move, and she can move. All right, let's push this forward because I would prefer. So we have a big juicy shift that way, big juicy fair value gap. More seasoned traders would probably have just taken it here with a stop below here. Personally, that's a lot. Let me see. What does one micro look like? Actually, what does two micros look like with a stop with that stop? I love that. I wouldn't mind if they swept this and then ran up, but yep, absolutely correct to do that. Propulsion block though. Just hanging about, man. Look at this. We've barely, that would be like a target. So I would have been right to take it here based off of this, but I would do this with one micro and put my stop right here. Getting confirmations. Setting that with the assumption this is about to close above it aggressively. Now I'm using this as there's a bearish fair value gap right here, so inversion right at the top of the propulsion block that pushed this price up aggressively. Now they don't need to come back down. They could just run up and just ignore me. But hey, you know. All right, let's push this to 10:30. See if we come back. Okay, they ran away from us. So I'm wondering if there are scenarios where I should just take, because I was contemplating it taking it here. But then I was like, but the setup's here. But I want them to come back down. Let's push it. Sometimes I might miss. So we have fair value gap here and here, propulsion block, inversion. This whole thing is an order block, so there's no guarantee they'll actually want to come all the way back down this way. Let's push it down. NQ is notorious for sometimes returning to where you wanted an entry. So that's no real movement there. Push forward another 5 minutes. So this might be one of those scenarios where I should have followed my thought here. But at the same time, it's a range, so it could have just dropped back down too as well. I don't really know. So the TPs are sort of auto set. Okay, yeah, that's actually a perfect spot. So if they take the high out before, if they take the high out before it tags me in, I'll just cancel the order because that's what I was looking for. So there's no point in getting in the trade again, you know? Like they're really close. So if they blew through that, then I'll cancel it and not worry about it. Don't like entries that pop me in after 11 a.m. too. Not a huge fan. Huh. The candle did not. It's happening. I think it's stuck. 10:45 is 10:50. The 10:50 candle. Okay, there we go. Come on, TOS. You got this. You can do it. Let's go to 11. So I don't think a 1 micro would handle this entry right here. That'd be too much and not worth it. But this entry, it's not really one I normally would take, but I was thinking about it. Let's see, how far does NQ want to come back down? Because I'm game. Okay, well, anything up here feels like chasing it. So once they take that out, I'll just cancel that. Which they're obviously going to do in a sec, so I think I've been talking too long. My throat's been an issue for weeks. Still thinking about it. Ugh, hey, this is annoying. Yeah, okay. So I wouldn't have gotten the entry. They didn't even come back down to the 5-minute entry here. Let's look at the 1 minute. So on the 1 minute, we had the shift, same thing, stop below here, but it's not the setup, so I would have missed this. All right, moving on. 25th. Or more importantly, I would not have gotten tagged in on that one. So let's go to 940. As always, let's take a look at the higher time frame. Okay, breaking out of the range. Let me delete that for the moment. Some buy side liquidity here, looking real juicy. I would love a return back maybe into the for our order block down here. Let's see. Maybe it's one of those days you just kind of have to go with the flow, that 1 hour. What news? This is the 25th. No news. So just running up. Okay. So let's push this to the 9:45, which means I'd be open to taking something between before 10 o'clock. So let's see. Wow. So these days when it just doesn't sweep any liquidity, you know, because this is London low right here. See, Asia lows over here. Yeah, they didn't even bother. They didn't even bother. They just ran off. On the 1 minute though, if you were game for that, they gave you a couple opportunities. Like at 9:45, like right here, gave you an entry for a long. I had buy side set up from a while back that they just haven't moved. If we breach this, because I don't think we've breached this at all. At all. I would love for them to leave an order block right at the top of this thing, and then voila. But days like this, man. Let's push this to 10 o'clock because it's looking like I got nothing to do. So the day before, oh, okay. See, I like that. But they've moved up so much already. Again, I would need a deeper pullback. They just, it's chasing at this point, and I don't like chasing. And it's just 10 o'clock. We got time. Let's push it another 5 minutes. Come on. Give us something to work with. Yeah, let's get a deeper pullback. Also, what did they take when they ran up? Okay. They ran up into this chop zone up here. Equal highs or equalish highs up there. So let's see what we do. So we have fair value gap here. 1, 2. I don't necessarily think they'll come all the way back down here, but it's NQ. She'll do whatever the hell she wants to do. She's her own lady. All right. So in this scenario, all I need is a pullback and a very bullish push in the other direction. Spending some time in a fair value gap. Let's go the 1 minute. So I need to pull back into something and a very, very aggressive push back up to consider anything. Because I haven't taken the high out. So it's one of the few times I'll look at the 1 minute these days. But I kind of think I prefer the 5 minute if I can get a decent entry. So right now we're about the midpoint of this fair value gap. I would like to see them wick into this one. Just a wick and then go that way. That would make me happy. Let's push this forward another 5 minutes. Okay. So they also respected the midpoint of this. So I would potentially maybe feel comfortable taking a long from here, stop below here, or maybe stop below here. I don't know. It still seems like it's gonna be a 1 micro trade. Let's push this to 1030 and see how we fare. I don't know why I was having so much internet issues before. Okay, so I would 1 micro this. Yeah, and I'll leave my stop there. And let's see if they want to roll up. Preference would be for them to pull up, but it's a nice bullish candle, so we've been very bullish. The only concern is they've pushed up a ton. They could just, decide they want to chop around in this general vicinity. If we take this high out, then we should be sitting pretty. So what are we aiming for? It's the 1 hour. Let's get the 1 hour to the left. So I don't need all of that. I can aim for this. Just the top of that. It's not a ton, but that's close. So maybe the high. And then let's see if we get any of that action. But we need this to move now. I'll watch it on the 5 minute. I need some aggressive 5 minute movement. Let's close this 5 minute candle out. Yeah, that sucks. So I did want him to tap into this guy, but that is not a good look right there. So we'll be eating into yesterday's profits. Yeah, that's looking like a short. So I like that they pushed back up. I was hoping they wanted to continue. So let's see. Let's push this another 5 minutes. But that's looking like we're going to get stopped. Failed to make a higher high. So I would love to see it push above here, but we've dug too far back down. It's not an ideal trade. It's like a continuation trade for me. They're not my best. They're not my best, but I have to practice them. Let's go 10:45. So remember what I said about like big push-ups, the things you have to be concerned about is them deciding they want to go sideways. Well, here we are. Let's push this forward to 10:50. So at this point, I'm equally of the thought that I get stopped out more than they'll push up. But we're also respecting the midpoint of this, and my stop is below that, so that's the problem with trying to get a continuation on these types of moves. Yep, there we go. So more likely to get stopped out than anything else. All right, so understanding that, we're just going to go ahead and stop ourselves out and then see if we get what we wanted in the first place for them to tap into this and run up. But it's closer to 11, so we might just have to take the loss and shut up about it. Yeah. So not the best setup. Continuations are kind of hard for me, so that's why I gotta keep testing. Okay, so this is what I wanted. I wanted them to tap into it. Let's get a more aggressive push up, and then maybe I'll take a second attempt. Let's go to 11:05. So far, not looking awesome. I'd want a more aggressive push that way. We're running out of time to care about taking a second trade. Sideways action, man. But that's kind of what I was looking for. So this is definitely not my favorite idea, but let's take what we're looking for and let's see if we get it. Now my stop can go below this guy. And maybe we eat up all of our profits and maybe we actually, I will put my stop below this fair value gap right here. Just a little bit below it. Some days you give your profit back, and some days you make even more profits. But this wasn't perfect. I would have preferred a more aggressive push that way, so that's on me for being a bit preemptive. Also, I'm getting tired, and I'm about coming up on time when I'm going to end these, so this is my second, probably my last attempt at a trade, and then we'll close out. All right, let's push it forward. Reason I wanted them to pull into this and then reject it, which we did here, but we're now sitting in another range. We need to see some movement pushing forward another 5 minutes. Let's see. Let's go another 5 minutes. Just sitting on the entry. So I don't like taking trades after big pushes. It's never quite perfect. But so what that says to me is that I'll wait. I won't be more aggressive with this type of thing. I'll wait for them to come back down and tap it like I want. So if we can keep moving up, where is the TP anyway? It's somewhere up there. So that's the better continuation trade versus using the top of this thing. So if we can get out of here. All right, I'm just pushing it another 5 minutes. 11:50. Can we get out of this space? So here we've tapped into the second 5 minute. I took it here, so at most I'm going to mitigate my stop this way. And then if we get above these highs, then I might put it there to push it another 5 minutes. Don't like lunchtime stuff personally. So we gave back profits, testing the other version of this. And let's push it forward another 5 minutes to 12. Can we get a lunchtime move? So we have, they can come back down to my entry and then run back up if they want to. We're just gonna, you know what, we're gonna move it 10 minutes because I need to have breakfast. Okay, if we make this low, push above it, I'll move my stop there. That becomes a risk-free trade. And then we'll close out. All right, so I'm gonna do that. Yeah, it's lunchtime move. I'm getting hungry too. Let's see if we can get out of this chop. Let's move it another 12:20. Let's go. Really? Come on. Well, right now it's a risk-free trade, so it don't matter. Stop me out. Let's go 12:25. Chop City, y'all. Now, where was my TP set? Right, the body of that thing. Okay. We're just going to manage the heck out of it. Okay, let's, whoops, Control Z. Let's move that. So I would have given back a little bit of profits trying to race it here, but that's why we backtest, right? So I said I originally wanted something here. So that worked beautifully, set my entry, and then let it go. And now we're in the chop suey. Slow, 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 slowy. Well, looks like I might get stopped out. Yep. Or we come back into this guy and we push up with aggressively. So let's get another 5 minute push in here. Why can't we be aggressive? Come on. We push up, take that high out. I can move my stop here. Go, go, go. Man, all that clean movement and then you don't want to move again after that. Totally, totally normal. Spent a year backtesting that stuff, and it's just disgusting how often this happens. Really? Makes me want to move my stop there anyway. All right, another 5 minutes. So we would be in this trade for quite a while. About an hour and a half. Okay, so they finally moved up. I move my stop to here. And do we want to? Let's do 10-minute increments. Let's just move this to 1 o'clock. $10 and we're still just sort of hanging out. TP's so far away. Where's $200 on this scale? Okay, let's go to 110. Okay, can you push up? I'll just move the stop that way. It's 115. We're just pushing it forward some more. This is on the 5 minute. Do we take Nope. Okay. So we're just waiting. Let's move it 10 minutes, 10:25, 1:25. Okay, order block. 1:35. Geez, we'd be in this trade freaking forever, y'all. 1:45. I don't like being in trades this long. I don't know how you were doing it, Wolfie. You were like in all day trades and stuff. It was pretty epic. 1:55. Another 10 minutes. I don't care. I'm moving my stop right here. Lock in a little bit more. Let's go to 2 o'clock. 2:05 actually. 10-minute increments. That's beautiful. Yes. 46-second trade is like epic. I am so happy for you there. Nice move up. So we're still fair value gap here. I don't want my stop inside of it. So another 10. Let's see if we can get some more movement. 2:15. Okay, I like that. Fair value gap here. If we dip into it and run up, I move my stop again. Hmm. Let's go 2:25. Let's go. Took that high out. 1:28. All right, let's go 1:35. 2:35, sorry. Yeah, I need to eat. Let's see what that 15-minute candle's looking like. That 15-minute candle is not looking juicy. It's looking weak. That's, well, I'll put my stop underneath the propulsion block right there. So back to the 5-minute, the 15-minute propulsion block. All right, let's see if we can't. Come on, y'all. Don't you want to move? Don't you want to move? Move. Let's make a new low and go up. Another 10 minutes. 56. I mean, at this point, I should just be locked. This is looking real sad. Let's go 3:10. Ooh, I hate holding anything after 3 o'clock. It's not my thing. Yeah, 1:44. The only thing that makes this okay is that it's a risk-free trade. So we're just gonna keep pushing it 10 minutes and see. I wouldn't mind a low here when we push up, going sideways. 3:25. Sometimes 3 o'clock can just blow up. Fair value gap. 3:35. Might get stopped out, but that's all right. Let's let TOS. Let's let TOS like. Okay, so that's about $100 right there. So whatever. All right, let's push it another. Let's do 5 minutes since we're so close to the stop. Well, look at that. All right. I'm gonna put my stop right under there. Okay, let's keep going. Let's go 350. I'm gonna close this by 4 o'clock. Looking real juicy. Looking real juicy. Yup. Hours to get here, y'all. Hours. So it's about to be 4 o'clock. So I'm literally gonna drop down to the 1 minute because I want to be out of this trade by 4 o'clock. So I'm just gonna like plop her right there by the wick, and I'm just gonna ride these candles up. Just gonna ride these candles up. We still got 10 minutes. We're just gonna when it hits two, I'm just gonna leave it right there. I don't care. At this point, we've been in this trade so long, it's ridiculous. All right. And we made back our loss and made a little bit, and voila, we are done. All right, y'all. I'm starving. I apologize for all of the technical difficulties. I need to go figure out what's going on with my router. And reboot that puppy. Um, anyway, so thanks for hanging out with me. I'll be back on Sunday. I've started doing daily preview videos just to get my mind right. And I find it's super helpful to do that pre-market, like just the where do I think it's going to go, what I want it to do, all that good stuff. You know what I mean? Anyway, I'm going to go eat some food. Um, that was a 1 to -4 RR strategy that I'm testing. Oh, right. Yeah, it was pretty sexy. You got that thing going. I was like, what? You're done? Epic. That was pretty sweet. All right, so far, February was only good for about the second week of February. The third week was trash. The fourth week is starting out better, less choppy, or maybe I'm just understanding how to trade the range better. Who knows? Anyway, it's noon. I'm starving, and we lost an hour. I'm not excited about that. You guys be safe. Have a lovely time, and I will see you next week. Be cool.